welcome back, guys. So I think I was able to catch this light before the sun goes down. I actually was trying to beat the sun from going down to this video because I had a pretty kind of interesting day today at work, and I was hoping that I can make this video in time because I like doing my videos outside in natural sunlighting. But yeah, the sun is kind of slowly fading away, so let's see how much I can cover in this video. So, as you guys know, like, I've been out here in LA since 2016. I moved out here in January 2016, and I have been living in Hollywood for 2.5 years. And just recently, at the end of September, for my birthday actually, I ended up moving to Inglewood. Not necessarily for my birthday. I mean, it was around my birthday time. My birthday was September 28th. And I ended up moving to Inglewood September 30th. So I know that you guys didn't even know, because see, I keep things a secret. See, I don't tell y'all everything, you know. But yeah, I ended up moving to Inglewood on September 30th. And I moved there to actually be closer to my clinical practice site where I work. So it's very convenient for me. It's not to say that I'm not still in Hollywood, because actually I'm in Hollywood right now. Like, I just can't get enough of Hollywood. I'm always in Hollywood. And thank you for the hearts. I can't see who's watching, so feel free to say hello below. I have no idea who's watching. But being that I've been working actually in Inglewood, I think I started working there in August is when I started my practice site, and I've been living there since the end of September. I wanted to do this video on a comparison between Inglewood versus Hollywood, because there are so many differences, I think, between the two places. Now, both actually lie inside LA County. And I believe Inglewood is still considered Los Angeles, I believe. At least that's what Google Maps says anyway. But hi, Ken. So in this video, I want to talk to you guys kind of briefly, because I know the sun is slowly fading away, and y'all not going to be able to see me once the sun go down. I want to talk to you guys about the differences that I've noticed between Inglewood and Hollywood, being that I lived in Hollywood for 2.5 years, and now I currently work in Inglewood. So I'm going to talk about the differences on these factors in terms of cleanliness, the level of quietness, safety, the people, transportation, and food, and anything else that comes to my mind. So in terms of cleanliness, like, that's the thing. Hollywood is pretty, it's a variety. It's like a different, I don't know, it's different parts of Hollywood, right? So I'm speaking, I guess, in general in terms of Hollywood in the area where I live, which was right off of Hollywood Boulevard, where the tourists are, and the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and just like this a tourist attraction. I live like literally 2 minutes walking distance from Hollywood Walk of Fame, and so I'm speaking from that perspective in that particular area. Now, there are some different parts of Hollywood that may be cleaner than other parts, but I mean, where my building was, I would say is clean, right? But like when you walk down the street, it was like, it has a city feel to it. I miss Inglewood and Culver City when I was working there. Yeah, you live in LA? I didn't know. I thought you were in New York. So yeah, like that area, because I would have to go down Hollywood Boulevard to get to the train station, and so I passed down, like I said, I would walk down Hollywood Walk of Fame like every single day, maybe like 2, 3, 4 times a day to get to and from my school and my practice site, to, you know, had to take the train. And that's where you see a lot of homeless people. Like, it's kind of sad, you know, because I guess they feel it's a good spot to panhandle, to ask for money. So that's where a lot of homeless people hang out. And I've seen some things, y'all, like, you know, homeless people, you can, like, the smell. That's another thing. Like, the smell is like, you smell urine, the feces, you know, you have homeless people. I've seen homeless people, like, take shit, literally, like, on Hollywood Boulevard, just pull their pants down and just take a shit. Like, it's just their bathroom. Like, it's crazy, right? But, I mean, nothing too much more different than what I've seen in New York. I've seen some stuff in New York City, too. So, you would be surprised. And given that it's a tourist district, Like, I guess that's one of my biggest complaints about Hollywood, and it's something that I should probably bring to the commissioner of Hollywood. Like, hey, y'all need to do something about this, you know? Because granted, they do at a certain time make the homeless people, I guess, like, get up because they clean Hollywood Walk of Fame. They like spray it down with water. But still, that's only at a certain time. I think it's like at 7 o'clock. By 7 o'clock in the morning, every morning, that's when they do that. But still, I feel like they shouldn't tolerate it, period. Like, sorry, you know. And I'm not trying to speak down on homeless people because, hey, I've been there, done that myself. And you guys haven't seen my videos where I talk about my experience being homeless. But I just feel like it should be a certain place for that. And I actually think that they should, like the city, the county, every city in the U.S. actually should build hospitals for homeless people, I think. You know, give them a place to go. Because otherwise they're just going to camp out wherever, you know. And they become like a pain, a thorn in the ass to the people. Because I'm like, they don't tolerate that in Beverly Hills. But they tolerate that in Hollywood, apparently, when you walk down that part of Hollywood Boulevard. So yeah, the cleanliness, that's one big difference. And it's interesting because Inglewood has been known to be like the hood, is gangster, but actually where I live is pretty clean. Like, it's amazing to see like the contrast between where I lived in Hollywood and then in Inglewood. Like, the air, it smells so fresh. Like, in Hollywood, you smell all different kinds of smells. The number one smell is marijuana because it's legal to smoke weed out here. And everybody smoke weed. Everybody. Like, it's just so much marijuana in the air. And so, but in Inglewood, I mean, not to say people don't smoke there, but it's just the air is a lot cleaner. It's fresh. The sidewalks are cleaner. It's less trash. I don't smell urine in my neighborhood when I walk down the street. It's just totally different, and I think it has a lot to do with the demographics, because in Hollywood, it's a lot younger people that live out here mixed with like homeless people, you know, and it's up and coming like artists and stuff like that. It has more like an artsy feel to it, kind of like in Lower Manhattan in the Village. It has more like that kind of feel to it, whereas Inglewood, the area where I live, is mostly like family oriented. So, I mean, I actually live in a 3-bedroom house, and it's a pretty clean neighborhood, to say, you know, the least. It's like it's family oriented. I don't get the sense that it's dangerous. And it's interesting because that was my next point, actually, to talk about like the safety of where I live, like in comparison to Hollywood. I don't know, not to say I didn't feel safe in Hollywood, because I feel like safety, I don't know, it's a state of mind. It's not, it has nothing to do with anything, you know. I think it's all in people's minds a lot of time. Not to say that there's not crime, because of course crime happens everywhere. But I think sometimes people have this stereotype in their mind that, oh, a certain neighborhood is unsafe. And I've heard that a lot. Like, people will say, oh, you gotta be careful. You know, you live in Hollywood, you need to get you some mace. And to be honest, I ain't had nobody mess with me out here in Hollywood. And even in Inglewood, like, where I work, one of the therapists, she's like, and she's white too, by the way, and she's like, oh, you know, they heard this area is not so safe, you know, and it's a lot of gangs, and you just gotta be careful with walking, because you know I take public transportation. And I'm just like, dude, are you just saying this to try to scare me? Like, I'm good. I'm telling her, like, where I was originally from, where I'm from, and was born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm like, actually, I think that's way more violent than here, to be quite honest. I mean, I was told, like, everybody there carries a gun. And so she was like, that's the thing. She was like trying to make an argument to make me believe that it's just so dangerous and violent here, and I need to be afraid for my life and just looking over my shoulder all the time. I'm like, dude, don't put that shit on me. Like, don't try to project that shit on me. I don't have that kind of fear. I don't walk around in fear. And I think that I live in some pretty violent neighborhoods, you know? Like, and I just don't have that fear. Like, I mean, to be honest, even where I was born and raised, my dad's house in Jacksonville, Florida, is in a predominantly African-American neighborhood. Like, to be honest, like, his house has been robbed several times. And yes, it's a frightening experience to come home and see, like, your house has been ramshacked. When I lived there, you get what I'm saying? But, you know, not to say at that time I wasn't afraid, of course. And actually, when I was younger, I used to have nightmares about that. But, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. I don't walk around in fear. As an adult, like, that's just not that ain't my flow. That's not how I move, you know. I lived in New York City, and people have threatened me even before I moved to New York City. Say, "Oh, it's so dangerous. They're gangs. You better be careful." And it's not that I don't take precautions. Of course, I'm a female, so I do take precautions, and I make sure that I check my surroundings, and you know, I know how to use common sense. So I don't know. It just kind of like concerns me when people want to be so concerned about my safety, and they're just like, you need to be careful, you need to carry some mace, and I heard the neighborhood is really dangerous. And I'm just like, no, it's a state of mind. And I feel like that's part of what makes a neighborhood dangerous. If people have this perception like, oh, it's danger, you know, be afraid, everybody's going to be so uptight and so guarded, and that creates this whole idea that it's not safe in people's minds, you know. That perpetuates the whole cycle. So I'm like, I'm not a part of that. That's So the next point I want to talk about is the quietness of Hollywood versus Inglewood. Now Hollywood, everybody knows, it's a lot going on. It's really busy. It has like a New York City Times Square kind of feel to it where I lived in Hollywood. But Inglewood is quiet. It's a pretty quiet neighborhood for the most part. Now, there was, since I have been there in that house where I live in Inglewood, I've noticed like one night there was like a gathering across the street from where I live. But it was like a smooth, kind of laid back, chill gathering. You know, it was, you know, black people, because I live in a black neighborhood mostly. But these are working people, you know, they drive nice cars, you know. I don't know what's their income, but I would guess maybe somewhere, I don't know, 50,000, 60, I don't know, I can't say, it's hard to tell. But I can just say that it's a nice homes, and it's nice cars, and people work, and they mind their business in the neighborhood where I live. And across the street from me the other day, like, they were hanging outside, and they were playing jazz music. Like, it wasn't like no ratchet, you know, I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna shoot you in your face type of music. It was just like really relaxed, really calming. It was a live band out there playing jazz music, and it didn't bother me. Like, I actually was kind of entertained by it. I was sitting in my room like, oh, this is kind of cool. I like it. I like the vibe. So, it's straight. Now, another difference, obviously, is that when I was living in Hollywood, I actually lived in an apartment building. One of the very historic apartment buildings, actually owned by a very famous celebrity that, I guess I can tell you guys the name, but I kind of still, for some reason, want to keep where I used to live private, even though I don't live there anymore. But it was owned by a very famous person. The building that I live is very historic, and that's in Hollywood. So in Inglewood, I live in a home. You know, it's very clean. It's hardwood floors. Even when the apartment that I had in Hollywood, it had hardwood floors. Where I live now has hardwood floors. It's a home, 3-bedroom. It's clean. It's nice. It's straight, and it's convenient to where I work at my near my prac site. Now the people. This is one of the biggest ones I really want to talk about. The people in Hollywood versus Inglewood. Now, in Hollywood, it's not to say people don't speak. I get people that speak to me everywhere I go, you know, because it's interesting how you'll have some people, I think this is one person, I won't say some people, just this one person claims I'm not approachable, but anywho, that's a whole nother story. But for the most part, like, people, I don't get it that I'm not approachable, because people always approach me, like men, women. They compliment me on my hair, they just want to spark conversation. So I don't get that vibe that I'm not approachable. But the people in Hollywood, for the most part, I mean, like I said, they speak to you, but not as much as in Inglewood. Like, it was almost like a culture shock when I moved to Inglewood and started working there, and I'm walking down the street. Like, it's amazing to see how many people would speak to me compared to Hollywood. Like I said, I get people who speak to me in Hollywood, but it's more like kind of like people in Hollywood kind of in their own little world, right? Like, they own their own little space, and they just get into where they trying to get to where they go, where they going or whatever, and that's it. But in Inglewood, it has more of like a community feel to it, community vibe, and it feels actually more like home. When I say home, I mean like Jacksonville, Florida, and people, like, everybody speaks. Almost like okay, let me try to put it in terms that's measurable. So I would say, like, in Hollywood, maybe 20% of the people make an effort to speak. Whereas in Hollywood, I would say maybe 20% of the people make an effort to speak. But in Inglewood, that's more like 90%, probably 95. Like, everybody speaks to me, or to people in general. Like, people speak to each other more in Inglewood, and it's almost as if, like, if you don't say good morning, then they take offense to it. It's like I said, it's more of a community feel. I felt welcome when I moved to Inglewood because everybody speaks to you. Like, literally, and it's a lot of, I think that has to do with culture. It's a lot of black people there, so they see I'm black and we just speak to each other. Whereas in Hollywood, not to say black people don't live out here, but it's mostly white people that live out here. And they kind of be in their own little world. But they still speak. It's just the proportion of people that speak is a little bit different in Inglewood compared to Hollywood. So they're just, I don't know, they're more welcoming, they're friendly, they are curious. I have people just, want to know about me, and they give me compliments, and I'm like, wow. I almost kind of felt uncomfortable because I'm just at the bus stop minding my business, and people are coming up to me like, oh, I like your hair, like, so many compliments. Not that I'm not already used to it, but it's just, wow. So that's one of the biggest differences that I noticed. Like, yeah, people seem to be more have like a homey feel to it in Inglewood. And I'm feeling the vibe. I like it. Everybody speaks. And then, in our culture, like, people greet each other like, what's up, queen? I get that a lot. What's up, queen? How you doing? Good morning. Even the older people, the elders, they be like, good morning. How you doing? Hope you have a good day. I was just like, dang, like, they know me. And I speak to them back. I be like, all right, take care, Or how you doing? Good morning, good evening. Like, they make an effort to make sure, like, they greet you, good morning. Whereas in Hollywood, it's a little different. And then Hollywood kind of reminds me a little bit of New York. Like, New York, it's just the culture. People, not that people don't speak, it's just they may speak to you in a different way. It just keep going. It's just tunnel vision. Like, they are focused on themselves and wherever they're trying to go. That's it. So I see that the sun is changing, the lighting is changing apparently. So let me try to wrap this video up. So what's different? Transportation. Now, when I was in Hollywood, I live literally walking distance in between two different train stations. So I had Hollywood and Vine train station, then I had Hollywood and Highland, and I live directly in the middle between those two. I can actually take either one. It's about equal distance from each other where I live. So I think it was much easier access, I guess, to the train station, whereas in Inglewood, I don't live walking distance to a train station, but I do live walking distance to a bus stop, so that's good. I mean, there are bus stops all over Metro LA, so that's good. So I'm in good hands. It's definitely the culture. It's a different kind of culture, definitely. So yeah, the transportation. I noticed in Inglewood, interesting about how, like, the street cross signs. It's like in Hollywood. I mean, the only difference I noticed is that in Inglewood, they seems to be more pedestrian friendly. So they give the pedestrians a chance to walk first before they signal for the cars to go to green. So I kind of like that. It's a little bit more pedestrian friendly. But, I mean, they still have, like, the pedestrian crosswalks too out here in Hollywood. So it's about the same. Yeah, and then even in Inglewood, they still have Lyft drivers and Uber drivers. There's still, access to Lyft and Uber. It's not that you have to wait. Like, Uber and Lyft don't go and work in Inglewood. They do. They're everywhere now, so that's good. And the food, one of my favorites. So now, y'all know I used to complain so much living in Hollywood how, like, the food sucks out here, and it's mostly, like, burritos and tacos, and not that I hate burritos and tacos, but it gets kind of played out when that's all you have access to are burritos and tacos or pizza. That's what they have out here in Hollywood. Whereas in Inglewood, they got some good soul food. You said similar to Atlanta. What's similar to Atlanta, Ken? I'm sorry. The video, I guess, like when I'm speaking versus when I get you guys' comments, it's like a 30-second delay, I think. So by the time you guys comment, I'm already on to the next topic, because there's a 30-second delay in between my speaking and when you guys actually, I guess, see what I'm saying. But yeah, in Inglewood, you know, they have soul food restaurants like walking distance from where I live. They have barbecue. Like, y'all know how long it's taken me to find a place that sells barbecue since I've been out here in LA? You say, yeah, so the transit, you saying that the transit, oh yeah, I remember living in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for 3 years, and yeah, they have the trains, but they don't go everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of like that. But I noticed that they are building up a train line. They're building more train extensions throughout LA, so that's good. Yeah, look at the sun. It is changing because it's getting dark. So yeah, they have they're building up train stations, you know, more train stations throughout LA, and even where I live, there's a train station that is in the process of being built. So who knows? I may be walking distance from a train station, I don't know, in several months. But the thing is that, like, I have three pracks that I complete, and I should get in the light, y'all, maybe so that y'all can see me better. But anyway, I'm probably about to finish this video. So I have in my program, there are three three practicum placements that we do, and each practicum placement is 800 hours. So this is my second one, and they last a year long. The weather is perfect there, though. Yeah, all the varying foods are good here. Come to Atlanta, I got you. I know. Oh yeah, I know about Atlanta. The food in Atlanta, definitely. I used to live there. Y'all know I'm probably gonna take y'all for a while with me. I'm about to wrap it up anyway. But so you live in the ATL. So what the hell was I saying? Transportation. Oh yeah, so yeah, this is my second prac placement, and being that each prac placement is 800 hours, it takes us about a year to complete our practicum placements. And so I guess I'll go this way. So I'm at this site for a year, and it actually ends in May, you know, and then from there I'll be going to my third and final practicum placement. Who knows where that's going to be. So I like to be close to, I guess, where I work, you know, so it's easier for me to get there, being that I don't have a car. I choose not to have a car. I mean, I could buy one, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to be honest. I kind of like not having to pay insurance, you know, and I feel like insurance is so unnecessary. And I like getting around by foot and by train. I'm so used to, I've done it for so many years that it's just second nature for me. So, yeah. For now, that's where I'm going to be at in Inglewood. And I'm feeling the vibe. I'm like, feel like, okay, I'm getting closer to the black community, because I kind of was distant a little bit, being that where I live, I mean, Hollywood, you know, Hollywood is not necessarily a black neighborhood, so to speak. But I do feel very comfortable where I live. It's good, and I'm out in the community more. And that's how, as being in Inglewood, I actually was able to find out about the Taste of Soul Festival that they have. I went there last weekend, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. So things like that, you know, it's just, I feel like it's a lot of bonus, a lot of benefits to living in Inglewood compared to Hollywood. But I mean, being that I'm also very much connected to the entertainment industry, I still like to be in Hollywood. So I live in Inglewood, but I find myself coming to Hollywood almost like every other day. So I might as well have a place in both, might as well have a spot in both places. It's crazy. That's just like how I said that I actually plan to be bi-coastal. So, ooh. Okay, let me park it right here. I finish the video right here. Ooh. This is weird lighting. But yeah, like, I was just talking to one of my associates, and I was telling them that I'm planning on going to New York in December to visit. And it's just like, yeah. She's like, I never been to New York. I was like, oh, it's cool. It's like my second home. And I actually plan to move back to New York when I finish my studies out here in LA. But at the same time, I'm still kind of vibing with LA. I like LA, so I'm like, I could see myself being bi-coastal, like having maybe, I don't know, a condo in LA and then buying a home in New York. Just being all over the place, y'all. That's just me. I don't know. I feel like I like to travel, and I like to just immerse myself in different cultures and in different environments. So that's me. You have access to both worlds. Very good. Yeah, I try to. Yeah, because the sun is changing, but some places have good lighting out here. I'm actually on Sunset Boulevard. So, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to get into tonight. I'm off tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. Bi-coastal is the way. Yes, I love being like bi-coastal and just traveling, and I really do need to get my ass out the country though, because I haven't. I mean, I feel kind of ashamed saying this when I tell people this. They're like, what? You don't have a passport? I'm like, I don't have a passport. I never left the country. I mean, when I was younger, my family, my mom and my dad, he took us to Canada. We visited Canada because he has a family. My aunt, his sister, is from Buffalo, New York. And so we went to Canada when I was younger, but that don't really count. That's still like North America, right? So yeah, it's like that's my goal. I keep putting it off. I need to just go on their website, because I was told that when I went to the post office to check my mail, I asked them about applying for a passport, and they were just like, go to the website. I can book an appointment and then bring up my birth certificate and my ID and stuff like that, and the fee, and just go ahead and do it. So I'm like, I need just do it. Like Nike say, just do it. I need to go ahead and do that. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. Cause guess what? 2019, your girl gonna be traveling. I want to go to Africa. That's the first place I want to visit outside of this country. We'll talk soon then. Yeah, be safe out there. Let's get that passport together and go. Okay, yeah, that'll be fun. Like, get a group of people and we all go to Africa. That'll be what's up. I'm down. Definitely, I'm down. It's just when. There's so many groups that go to Africa. That's the thing. So I'm like, And I'm the kind of person, I'll go by myself, to be honest. Like, if I can't have nobody go with me, I will go sit there by myself. But I was talking to somebody just like, no, you don't want to go by yourself, because they might try to take advantage of you, because they're going to know that you're not from there. I'm like, I don't know. I got those kind of warnings when I moved to New York, and ain't nobody fuck with me. Because I think what people fail to realize is that I'm just as crazy as the locals. So you may think that, oh, just because a person is new or they're not from a place, that you can push over them. Not this one. But, not to say I'm invincible, but your girl good, man. Your girl good. So, yeah, that's definitely, I want to go to Africa. What part? I don't know. I don't know which country in Africa I want to visit. Somewhere, anywhere. It don't even matter to me. I just start somewhere and then go around to the next place. Go this way. Yeah, that's definitely. That sounds like a plan, Ken. I don't know, though. We got to plan it out. Like I said, it's like a lot of different... Hell no, I ain't want to go that way. Go this way. Hell no. This motherfucker that I met yesterday. I just seen his ass. He's going to try to stop me. Man. Hope he don't come behind me. Hope he didn't see me. Sad, you got to avoid people. I do that sometimes, because I don't feel like being bothered, man. I really don't. People be like, oh, you need to connect more. I don't need to do shit. I connect with people who I want to connect with. Put it that way. I pick and choose who I invite. I just was trying to avoid somebody, because I'm like, nah. I'm good on that too. But, oh yeah. It's different groups, right? And I was thinking about Dr. Umar Johnson. Some of y'all I know don't like Dr. Umar, but I love him. I have much respect for him. And he actually has 2 trips that he's planning to go to Africa. So he's going to Africa twice in 2019. And he said that actually 2019 will mark the 400th anniversary for the slaves coming from Africa to America. It's been 400 years, I think he said. So we're going to go and commemorate that next year in 2019. And so I'm like, I even told him that I actually may go with them. But this is the thing, y'all, like, being that y'all know I have this crush, I have this thing for Dr. Umar. I'm just like, dude, that ain't gonna work out, because the whole purpose is just to be focused on, like, getting centered back in your African roots and stuff, right? Child, my mind, if I go with Dr. Umar, my mind ain't gonna be on that shit. I just have to keep it real. My mind ain't gonna be nowhere near on no freaking black nationalism or anything related to that. And my mind gonna be on something totally different, child. I'm gonna be so distracted. So I don't think I need to go there. I don't think I need to go there with him and his group. That's the thing, like, when I notice, I guess, when he does his group tours to Africa, he, like, the group, I mean, he has men, but they have, like, older women. And they don't probably see him like I see him. So that's kind of weird, right? Like, going on a event like that with somebody that you actually have a crush on, that ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. That's, to me, that's gonna be that'll be torture for me. Like, hell no. Like, nigga, if I can't get it, excuse my language, y'all, but see, that's the hood coming out, y'all. I didn't talk too long, the hood coming out. But I'm like, if I can't get a piece of that, then don't be teasing me like that. Don't play. Yes, I can't help it, y'all. I do have a crush for Dr. Umar. And I know he might probably see this. He probably watch my videos like, this girl is crazy. I am not that crazy. I'm just a human being like everybody else. The only difference is that I can express myself. What is this? This a club? This a bar? Y'all have like comedy shows?
What's this?
Oh, really?
Just,
so I missed it.
But it's, what do you call it? Beginners.
Oh, okay. Like the amateur. Wednesday, what nights, at what time?
I think they might start like 9:30.
9? Oh, that's kind of late.
Okay.
That's the thing, I had class on Thursdays. But I may check you guys out. Thank you. So, yo, that's the thing. Like, I know he probably watching these and he probably like, this girl is crazy. Alright, but yeah, before I end this video, I guess I'll take you guys, since I'm already here, I'll take you guys with me down Hollywood Boulevard. But child, yeah, I made up my mind. I say, nah, that ain't gonna work. I ain't even about to sit here and torture myself like that and pretend like it's gonna work with me going on some Africa tour. Cause child, I'm gonna be like, what to do? And it's crazy. I don't know why I feel so comfortable saying this to y'all. What is this? Hollywood has changed. Like, it's changing, y'all. They actually got more shops opening up, more clubs and more bars, and this is a business out here. This is a place where you can come and get in some trouble or have some fun. I know, see, the men folk don't like when I talk about, I know y'all men folk don't like when I talk about my crush on Dr. Umar, because some of y'all be crushing on me. But I just have a certain kind of man that I like. And yeah, he is my type. Y'all already know that though. Ain't no sense in me keep saying that. What do I keep saying that for? I don't know if I'm his type though. I know he lately been crushing on Jill Scott. And I'm like, well, if Jill Scott his type, I don't know. Because me and her, we got different personalities, I think. I think anyway. So, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. This is the perfect spot to end it. So I will catch you guys later, and I thank you guys for tuning in. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with LA. If you guys are from LA, let me know where part of LA you guys live and which part do you like best. Now I have my favorite parts I like about LA. I like, you know, Hollywood, obviously, because I can't get enough of Hollywood. But I'm digging Inglewood. Crenshaw is not too far. Long Beach, I still have to explore more about Long Beach too, because I don't know. They say Long Beach is kind of popping, but then they say it's kind of dead in some areas. Now, I do like Santa Monica and Venice Beach, but I want you guys to drop below the part of LA that you like the most, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.